Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 of the TBL. Your New York Empoleon had a little bit of trouble last week as we talked about in the team builder. If you didn't see that, I encourage you to go watch it because we are bringing some wonky sets this week. But we are protecting my opponent Beta of the Colorado Colors to bring Mega Medicham, Shaman, Celesteela, wow that's really hard to say, Zygarde 50%, Magnezone, and Quagsire as the team I'm expecting him to bring. But he's got a Regice, he's got all sorts of fun things that I expect might also show up. Now my team this week, just so you guys are aware, if you didn't watch the team builder, is Entei, Spiritomb, Mandibuzz, Cradily, Kyurem Black, and Mega Lopunny, but I don't think this team is what you think this team is, so I encourage you this week, go watch that team builder before you see this battle, because there's some really strange stuff going on with this squad. Alright everybody, welcome back. I made the weird gesture before, but we are not done with the video yet. We are in fact just starting it. We are connecting with Beta, getting our team all ready to go. I am so nervous right now. I don't know why. I know this team has the potential to do well, and I know it has the potential to do poorly. And so I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I literally actually have no idea what's going to happen in this battle, which is actually kind of exciting. It's like, okay, this could go very, very well. I've prepped, I've planned, I've got the team I think I need to have in order to be successful in this battle. And then by the same token, it just could, you know, that. It could just go horribly wrong and everything could be terrible. And, you know, it really could go either way. So I'm hoping that the Zygarde isn't Lumberry if I see it, and there it is, right there. So Zygarde is here, Celesteela is here, we've got the Mega Medicham, let's write all these down, it's a Mega Medicham, we've got the Gengar, we've got the Whimsicott. So I did actually predict poorly on some of these, and we got the Armaldo, so he does have access to removing hazards. That is his only form of hazard removal, so if we can get rid of that, we will be in good shape. Gengar comes in, we can throw that in right about there. We got the Whimsicott. Whimsicott can go right about there. It's a little Whimsicott. And we've got the Armaldo, and Armaldo can go right there. So that's the team we're looking at. I could lead Cradily here. What do I expect him to lead? He could lead Armaldo, set up his own rocks. I do want to keep Cradily kind of healthy. Spiritomb's a decent lead, pretty much against anything, just because it has Will-O-Wisp and Toxic, depending on what Pokemon he goes into. And I think that I could use either Cradily or I could use Spiritomb, and I think I'm going to go with Spiritomb as my lead, because it has the Pain Split, and so that ends up making it much more valuable, like, as far as it can take a hit and then Pain Split back up. So, Beta won his first match. His team is terrifying. I feel like I did a good job prepping this week, but, you know, anything can happen in a battle in which you're using these kind of sets. So, Spiritomb is going to come in here, and we've got the Armaldo lead. That is what I was potentially expecting, and so I'm not too surprised to see it. If he does just set up his rocks, that's all right. We do have Defog on the Mandibuzz, which obviously I don't want to hard switch into right now. And with 3 things weak to rocks, it would not surprise me to see this thing set up the rocks right here. I'm going to click Will-O-Wisp on this thing if he does decide to set up the rocks. That way I can start whittling this thing down. Thinking that he might lead with Armaldo definitely made me consider leading with an offensive threat, but I don't actually have anything that really handles Armaldo that well this week. I was not expecting him to bring it. I know it's his only Rapid Spinner, but I really just didn't expect him to bring it. He goes straight for the Earthquake, so we do see that this thing is going to straight up go on the offensive. It outspeeds me, which I don't think surprises me, but I can check my Spiritomb set really quick. And we've got Armaldo using Earthquake, should do like 40%, which is about what it did. So yeah, it's not quite a fully offensive Armaldo, but he's now burned. And we could foul play him out of curiosity. If I foul play a burned Pokemon, it doesn't actually affect my foul play. It's based on his attack stat. but my being burned would affect that. So we do see that he is a burned Armaldo now, so that's really, really good. And we do reveal the fact that we have Will-O-Wisp, which is okay. He could at this point go for the rocks. I'm going to click Foul Play. If I can get rid of Armaldo early in the game and keep the rocks off my field. So he goes for the Stone Edge here. He connects it, which is fine. I mean, we just take that really, really well. And we get a little Foul Play off. So he's like definitely not offensive. Or Foul Play when he's burned does actually affect my Foul Play. I'm not sure. It says it doesn't on the thing, but I think what it is he's just not as offensive as I expected him to be, which is totally fine. He could switch out here into, I would assume, maybe a Special Celesteela or the Whimsicott. And he obviously isn't going to go into the Medicham knowing that I have Foul Play right now. I don't really want to take any more damage because at this point I can definitely take another hit later on in the game and Pain Split back up on something else. So I definitely want to keep that option available to myself. Rock Lobster is a pretty good switch in here. Cradilly could come in. I've got access to Giga Drain, which will hurt this thing a lot. I can set up my own rocks. If he decides to set up his rocks, the thing is, if he decides to set up his rocks, I really want Mandibuzz in here, and Mandibuzz can come in pretty safely and handle this thing. So I'm gonna bring Mandibuzz in. If he does click Stone Edge again, that's fine. If he just goes for his rocks, I'm also perfectly okay with that because I'm getting my Defogger in pretty much for free at that point. And he does go for the Stone Edge. He does connect it, so he's going to do, a chunk to Mandibuzz, but we're going to take that just fine after the burn and be able to knock off his item, whatever item that is. So he could be Assault Vested here. I could see that. I could click Roost and let the burn do a little bit more damage and get my health back. And that would be a play because if I do Roost, then I don't take as much damage from the Stone Edge that he's got. This has Rock Slide, but he's got Stone Edge. So Knockoff's doing 30 to 36%. Brave Bird is doing 37 to 43%, but I don't think now's the time to click Brave Bird. So I do think Knockoff might kill after one more burn. So I'm going to Roost here, see what he wants to do. If he does decide to set up his rocks, fine. Otherwise, I know that I'll be able to do more damage next time. If this is like Rocky MZ, or if he misses, then we're in really, really good shape. So it's possible that Knockoff will kill from this range. It's a roll, I think. That might be a little bit outside the range of where Knockoff will kill. I don't necessarily want to reveal that I have Brave Bird yet, so I do think I just want to click Knockoff here. And we're just going to get the Knockoff off. I don't have any recoil or anything, and it doesn't quite kill. He is Assault Vested, goes for the Stone Edge, lands this one. So, I mean, we're back to where we were, which is totally fine. And actually, at this point, I think he survives a burn, and that means that I can... No, he doesn't survive the burn. So, okay, he actually goes down to the burn, which means the kill goes to the thing that burned him, which would be my Spiritomb. So, Spiritomb kills... I'm getting a phone call. Not right now. Spiritomb kills Armaldo with burn damage. So Spiritomb does get that kill, so we'll mark that down. He brings in his Whimsicott. Obviously, Whimsicott, huge problem. Okay, my sister is calling me, so I don't know what to do. I'm gonna be right back, everyone. Okay, sorry. That I cut that out because I just don't want anyone seeing or hearing what she's saying. If this thing is like super specially offensive, like what if you are like max special attack, modest, life orb, what are you doing? Let's go with specs. Okay, so he's gonna kill me if he specs modest, max special attack, but otherwise he's not, and I don't quite kill with a Brave Bird either, so I don't think there's a reason to stay in quite now. That didn't make any sense. I can go right out into Rock Lobster, and I think that's the play. My rocks would be here to stay, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think they're the most important thing to have in the world, because none of his team is weak to rocks this week. He goes for the Misty Terrain, so he doesn't want anything else getting statused. I just typed Whimsicott has the move Whimsicott. What? So he goes for the Misty Terrain, so nothing status for a few turns. I'm okay with that. Now, the reason that I brought in Cradilly here is because Cradilly does have Mirror Coat on it, and that will allow me to, I can also like just eat hits from this thing, but I do have Mirror Coat, so if he does decide to go for an attack, then I'll know. But I mean, even if he's like a super offensive thing, then I'll be able to take 2. So I'm gonna go for the Stealth Rocks here and have them here to stay, just because, and we're also gonna keep stalling out turns of this Whimsicott being a nuisance. So we are going to go for the Stealth Rocks here. We see Tailwind, we see Misty Terrain, which is interesting on this thing. Would have been nice to just Brave Bird it, but it doesn't look like he's an offensive set, which is totally fine. I'm not going to complain about him not being an offensive set. At this point, Entei could come in and start clicking Calm Mind. So that is an option for sure. Entei, just like, I mean, if he's got Tailwind, Misty Terrain, I don't know what he would have to handle an Entei, and I don't think he's an especially offensive version of this Pokemon. So, Whimsicott's not, I mean, it doesn't like taking anything from an Entei. I can click Calm Mind pretty freely, stall out another turn of Tailwind. He switches out, right out into Millennium. Millennium is the Zygarde. That's a problem. Hard switching into Entei, with the Tailwind on this thing. Obviously, 1,000 Arrows from an Adamant Zygarde. We'll just say Earthquake because it's stronger. Has a... I mean, Earthquake has a chance to OHKO. I EV'd so that I can maybe take 1,000 Arrows. There's a chance. It's a non-negligible chance. It only has an 18% chance to OHKO. And I do have Hidden Power Ice on this thing. Now, he could just straight 1,000 Arrows. It's frustrating that 1,000 Arrows doesn't have... If he's banded, though, I don't survive. And he does have the Tailwind for a couple more turns, which is pretty scary. He's got Misty Terrain and Tailwind, and he's got another chance to get it up later. But Entei, if he... I mean, I kind of got to know, like... I kind of want to get damage on this thing. I don't see another alternative to staying in with the Entei, and obviously this is not the way I want to use the Entei. Because Entei is sort of integral to breaking down Celesteela, but I think Kyurem can handle the Celesteela if it has to, so I am going to just click Hidden Power Ice and do as much damage to this thing as I can. So he just goes for the Dragon Dance here, and that means I get a ton of damage off on this thing. It also means it's not banded, but it means it's going to kill things, which is annoying, which is just not great. So we do get a chance to get the Hidden Power Ice off on this. What was that? What was that? What just happened? This... What? What was that? Is this thing like... it can't be Assault Vested. I mean, if you're max Special Defense... and max HP... and Calm Nature, or Careful Nature... that still should have done like 40%. What just happened? That did nothing. I'm super confused. Did he get a screen up that I didn't see? No. No screens. What? I have no idea what that was, but we may have just like lost the game because of it. Because that was not his Hidden Power Ice that I've ever seen before. Okay. So he's got a Dragon Dance up. Does he sweep me now? I don't know what just happened. Okay, so we're gonna go for my strongest other attack, which is a Bloom Doom. If he, he could miss his 1,000 Arrows. He won't. But he could, and this is gonna kill now because he's at +1, which is completely reasonable. So Zygarde kills Entei with 1,000 Arrows. I don't know what just happened, unless that was Hidden Power Dragon for some reason in the Misty Terrain, and that's why it says super effective. If that Pokemon was genned incorrectly, then that's just a huge problem. Now a +1. What do I do against a +1 Zygarde? Do I lose? Because that didn't do like the 50% needed to? So he's not going to kill Mandibuzz from that range, but Mandibuzz doesn't threaten it with anything. Like, I could knock off whatever it's holding, but that's not really going to do anything for me. I also could go into... I can take one hit with this Lopunny. And Ice Punch should do 69 to 83%. So if I go into Lopunny here, it doesn't allow him to set up another Dragon Dance, whereas if I go into Mandibuzz, it does. And then he would kill the Lopunny on the switch. So I am going to go into Lopunny here. I do have a chance to just click Ice Punch here. It doesn't kill, but that he also doesn't kill me with 1,000 arrows right now at +1, even if he's Adamant Max Attack, and we know he's not choiced in some way, and he's not Life Orb in some way, so so there's 1,000 arrows. We should be able to take one plus 1,000 arrows with this Lopunny, and we do. I really don't know what happened with that Hidden Power Ice, but that's going to do a huge chunk. Freeze it. I wasn't expecting the freeze. I was 0% expecting a freeze there. With that in mind, losing Lopunny would be dumb. I could go into my... I'm going to go into my Spiritomb here. If he stays frozen, then I get the foul play off next turn, and I end up killing it with Spiritomb. If he doesn't stay frozen, he kills my Spiritomb, I go into Mandibuzz and kill it with Mandibuzz, and get to keep my Lopunny. Wow. I said get the freeze, I know I said it, but I didn't expect it to happen. Okay, so the Hidden Power Ice, something happened, but Lopunny picked up the slack here. There's the Thaw out. That's unfortunate. Steelium Z? Iron Tail? Oh, I'm dead. I mean, for sure I'm dead. Okay. Probably Iron Tail. I don't know if this thing learns Iron Head or not. So we're going to say Zygarde. I'm not even going to check. Zygarde kills... Spiritomb with Z Steel. That's unfortunate that he thawed out there. I don't have any priority on this team, which is actually like... I don't know how I missed that one in prep. But that's okay. We can take one plus 1,000 arrows from this range with Mandibuzz. And so I do have a chance to click Brave Bird or Knockoff should do the trick here with the Mandibuzz. So even Knockoff does like 14 to 18%, and I don't have to take any recoil from it. So I can just click Knockoff. I feel safer clicking Brave Bird, although Brave Bird only does 18 to 21% as opposed to the 14 to 18% that it does with Knockoff. So I'm going to click Brave Bird just to be safe. I'm pretty sure this Mandibuzz should be able to live 1,000 arrows from this range. According to the calc, it can. And there it is. So it does survive that, and it will get we'll get a Brave Bird off here. Now I could have roosted there because that did a little bit under 50%, but I'd rather just this thing be dead. This thing is terrifying, and so I did have a way of killing it. It would have involved me losing Lopunny instead of losing Spiritomb, so I actually love that I didn't. So Mandibuzz kills Zygarde with Brave Bird, and we do have to reveal that we have it, which means the Medicham obviously knows now not to be able to just freely switch in on this, although I am at an amount of health that he can just come in on with it. Now, this is the Celesteela. I don't think I need my Mandibuzz anymore for anything in particular, so I really just want to click Knockoff on this thing, kind of get some information about what set he's running. We saw his Z move on the Zygarde, so we know this thing's not a Z move, so this Knockoff's going to do something. It gets rid of the leftovers. See, there's an Iron Defense. Interesting. Okay, so he's at +2 physical defense now, which makes Zygarde, or not Zygarde, Kyurem not really a great option. At this point in time, I can roost to kind of scout what he's going to do. Or I can just kind of keep clicking knockoff and slowly whittle this thing down. I know Celesteela doesn't learn like any real recovery as far as I know. I really hope it doesn't get roost. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but let me just check. We got time, and we're all sorts of out of whack. This battle has got me all sorts of tilted right now. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. The hidden power, and then the freeze, and then the thaw, and Pokemon being dead that I wasn't expecting to be dead. And I mean, aside from Leech Seed, this thing doesn't get any recovery. But if he's Leech Seed and hit Iron Defense and everything, then I'm just sad. So I could just click Roost, and I think I should click Roost, because then I can maybe take a hit from the Medicham later. So we are just going to click Roost here. We do have the opportunity to take a hit from this thing pretty much no matter what. And I want to get a sense of whether or not he's special or physical. And he's not showing any move right now. He could have Heavy Slam, and that would be a problem for my Cradilly, which is why I don't want to just hard switch that in. But I am going to switch out here into the Cradilly because he can't Leech Seed that. And we can just kind of sit there and I don't know. Neither of those Pokemon can hurt each other, really. Although, definitely, this thing does more to Cradilly than Cradilly does to it. So I could go straight out. I don't really want to go straight out into my Kyurem. I don't want to hard switch into that because if I do and he does go for the Heavy Slam, it's going to hurt, like, a lot. Let's just say it's going to hurt, like, a lot. He's at +2 physical defense as well, which makes my Kyurem really not do that much to this thing either. So I don't want to stay in here. There's no reason to stay in here. Cradilly is probably the best look. I'm hoping that he's specially offensive, and I can mirror coat it, because that would be the most damage I could do. But if he does go for the Heavy Slam here, then I'm in a really tight spot. That's another Iron Defense. That's a problem. This thing, taking down this thing is going to be difficult. We do have the access to him not having leftovers, and I need to know what offense he's using. Is he specially offensive or is he physically offensive? Is he going to go for a Heavy Slam or is he going to go for a Flash Cannon? He's got to have one of those two moves to handle the Pokemon that are weak to Celesteela on my team. And if it is Heavy Slam, I die. Not in one hit, but I don't take two of them, let's just say. And it's at that point, you know, obviously Kyurem would be the only Pokemon that can do anything, but at +4 physical defense, this thing, I mean, like, I can only do about 30% from my Kyurem if I don't get the boost from the Lopunny, which I can't get unless I know what kind of, if I know that he's not offensive at all, it's possible that Lopunny can take a hit from it. If he's like if he's not invested in any way in his offenses, it's very possible, and he doesn't have Heavy Slam, it's possible Lopunny can take a hit from him. I kind of have to click Mirror Coat and see. It's not like the damage from Giga Drain is going to be that important, and if he is specially offensive, there's the Heavy Slam, so we will take one, and I could have just clicked Recover there, which wouldn't have really helped. Like, it was more of just I needed to see if he was specially offensive or not, and if he was, then I was going to be able to get that Mirror Coat off. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. The Giga Drain damage isn't that important, so I'm not super worried about it. He's just going to take me out with another Heavy Slam. Now, the problem is that does do enough damage to make me feel like he will kill Lopunny in one hit with it. And he's at +4 physical defense right now, so I can't just go into Lopunny. I could go into Kyurem. What did you Beast Boost? Physical defense. So I could go into Kyurem, which does have the Ice Beam, and Ice Beam is doing something. It's doing like 30%, so I get an attack off. He goes for Heavy Slam. I don't think he's invested in attack at all, so Heavy Slam is a good chance to 2-hit KO, but not a guaranteed 2-hit KO. And I can't go into Mandibuzz. I can't go into Lopunny, so it has to be Kyurem. And with him at +5 defense now, there's no way I'm breaking through on the physical side. So, even now, Fusion Bolt almost does more than Ice Beam. But you know what Ice Beam has? The chance to freeze. So we're going to go for it again. We'll see. Maybe he's not as especially bulky as this set says it would be, and he's not. Okay, so Kyurem can take a hit. It doesn't look like with that damage roll that I'll be able to take another one, and it sort of doesn't matter. I need to click Ice Beam. I need to either get a crit, a high roll, or a freeze. You know, those are all options. I get none of them. He gets another Heavy Slam off, so Celesteela is going to kill a couple Pokemon here. I didn't mark him down. Celesteela kills Greydilly with Heavy Slam, and he's at +6. Celesteela kills Kyurem Black with Heavy Slam. I do not understand what happened with that Entei at all. He's at +6. Can Lopunny do that much damage to a Celesteela at +6? No. Not without a crit. So at that point, we click Ice Punch because it gives us a 20% chance to freeze and a chance to crit. And those are the two things, one of the two things we need to happen in order to break through this game. So he's going to protect away my chance to get a Fake Out off, but I don't have Fake Out. I could have used Work Up. That would have been crazy. I would never have expected him to use Protect right there, so that would have been the stupidest play ever. But we are just going to click Ice Punch. We could get another freeze here. It's not out of the question. We could get a crit, get no freeze, get no crit. Heavy Slam comes off. We do see the Protect. I should mark down that I saw that. And Celesteela kills Mega Lopunny with Heavy Slam. And at this point, I'm really, really upset that Entei didn't do more damage to the Zygarde, because I wouldn't have had to sack it if it did, and that's just, I don't know what happened. Like, there's literally no way HPI should have done that little. It did say special super effective, so I don't know what happened. I just constantly, like, honestly do not have any clue what happened there. And, I mean, the Celesteela, like, maybe I should have gone into this thing, instead of Lopunny, because I could take more Heavy Slams and stuff. But I mean, whatever. He's just gonna Leech Seed here. Like, that's the play to make. Miss the Leech Seed, maybe? No? He lands the Leech Seed. There's no way I can win this game. And he just he just roosts here. Or not roost, he protects. And gets back to a point where I can't take him out. I don't know. All right, guys. So I know that this battle went poorly. That's not like I don't know what happened with the recording, but I didn't want to leave it off without giving at least one shout out to Beta for prepping super well. I got a little bit salty at the end of this battle and started talking about why did Entei's hidden power not do what I wanted it to, and why, you know, like, and whatever. But again, I'm not the kind of player who makes excuses. I'm going to take from this and I'm going to learn from it. I've already, when I'm at the time of recording this, I've already made a switch to drop Mandibuzz and pick up Scolipede for the rest of the season. So we've got some stuff coming down the road. I don't think this is the end of the New York Empoleon. I promise you that. We are just getting our feet wet with this league. We're still trying to figure out how to make this team work. I think Beta and I think Playmaker have both been incredibly good opponents so far this season, and I think they're both going to make deep runs into the playoffs. So I'm excited to see the way the season plays out. If I don't win the championship, I don't win the championship. But thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize for the quality of this video. I think I know what the problem was, and I think I can address it for next time and hope that it never happens again. But I did want to give you guys at least the live recording of the battle, which seemed to be more or less okay, even though the beginning of it was super choppy, and I don't really understand what happened halfway through the battle that allowed, or the recording that allowed that to happen, but it happened right at the start of the battle, which worked out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my apologies for the way that this all ended up coming together, and editing this sucked, but Again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week with another TBL battle against the Suffolk Skuntanks and Midnight Wolf. Take care, everybody.